All right, welcome to Two Guys, One Take. My name is Noah, and that is Turner. And Turner, all is right in the world. The Oklahoma City Thunder looked like the best team like they have all year, and they did it against the Pacers. So maybe the Pacers' powers have been diminished.
I mean, I wish they would have brought out the stat before that OKC has only lost two in a row twice this year because
Yep.
I wouldn't have gone Pacers spread.
I went Thunder spread. I felt like I was right the first game when I bet their spread, and then sometimes you have one of those bets in a series where you're like, dude, I was right. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
bet it again because I'm mad. I think I was right. And then this time it worked out. Sometimes that doesn't. I went Chet over on points, assists, and rebounds as well. That did not hit. He had
yeah.
22. He needed 24.
I'm telling you,
And
man, you just got to straight 20 points, rebounds
yeah,
every time, even if the odds are like minus 5,000.
he always gets that.
It's free money.
um, but yeah, I mean, the first game, like I said, I felt correct. Like, even just like looking back, I was looking at cleaning the glass, and Indiana had the highest turnover percentage in that first game of any team in any game in the playoffs. They turned it over on 24.5% of their possessions. And the Thunder, all season, were the best team at turning turnovers into points. And they were the worst team in the entire playoffs last game, first game of the series, at turning those into points. So it was just an all time outlier of a game that ended in a last second shot
Yeah.
um, by Hallie. So I feel like this was more indicative of how the first game should have even looked from a score standpoint. I don't know if you felt that way too, but
No, I definitely did. Because I didn't get to watch the game, sadly. I had two soccer games. But looking
athlete,
at athlete, athlete, they even
how many
asked her like
goals?
zero. Tough, tough.
No,
Yeah, I was planning on only playing one and watching the game, but then this team was like, "Hey, we need a dude." I'm like, "Hey, I'm a dude.
that's me. I
Let's
can get
play.
you 0 goals. Let's do it.
Let's play." No,
You're
but
more of a
looking at
defensive
the
presence. I get it.
exactly. I'm like a utility. Just do
Oh
both.
yeah.
Do all of it. But looking at the like replays and everything, OKC just came off to a hot start and really didn't let Indiana get close whatsoever the whole game. I mean, even when they did, I forgot who hit a big three. I think it was Wiggins who did. Wiggins had a great game all around, either way. But
Wiggins was awesome.
yeah, I thought there was a stretch. I think like in the third quarter where the Pacers were trying to make a little bit of run, but like I said, OKC just didn't really take their foot off the pedal the whole time. Uh, I'm really glad I didn't bet Shea 34, 35 plus points because I was really tempted to. Um, he had 34, so
Yeah,
yeah. And
he played more of a
DraftKings
Shea game.
also fuck DraftKings because they had a promo that was the Thunder to win and Shea at 35 plus points. It was boosted to like plus 500. I was like, I can't imagine how much money they just stole from people yesterday.
That is
But
classic. That's a classic, like FanDuel, DraftKings. Like as soon as you log onto the app, they're like, "Dude, don't you want to do this thing that will definitely happen?"
yeah,
And you're like, "Of course I do." Algorithm, thank you. I used to
God,
always make fun of my friend. Shout out to Nick from Arizona that I worked with, and Verizon. This just reminds me of him. He used to always log on to FanDuel when we were at work, and he'd be like, "Dude, I don't see how this misses." And I'd be like, "Did FanDuel make the parlay for you?" And he's like, "Yes." And I'm like,
yes.
"Then it's gonna miss. There's no shot. You've got zero chance."
And for insight, it's also gonna miss if Dave Portnoy makes the parlay. Just so you know.
He's fallen off a little bit. I don't know what's going on with my guy. He's entering into worlds that are bad. So
Yeah.
we're gonna leave it at that.
DraftKings
Um,
is like, hey, we need you to put a parlay together for the people, and he just like blindfold, just like, yep, that looks good. There we
that
go.
one and then that one. No, seriously, honestly, DraftKings, like these people are putting no effort into it. Why don't you ask us? I'll
Yeah,
put a crazy amount of effort into it, but you don't want that because then it might hit. That'd be
yeah.
bad.
Lose a fuck
Um,
ton of money. That's what they do. They just ask people that have a fuck ton of money, and they're like, what do you think?
they're like, dude, Jake Paul, what do you think? about the Thunder.
Prize picks.
um, prospects.
Fuck, man.
Um, but yeah, at the start of the game, first quarter was the only time where I felt like a little bit weird. Like when it went into the first timeout, I think like 6 minutes into the game, 7 minutes into the game, it was like 17-17, and OKC looked kind of timid, and uh, Indiana had hit a couple of threes, and I was like, maybe Indiana is just so weird, like offensively, and they just can't figure them out. That this is just going to be one of those series where it's going to just get strange. Like maybe OKC is going to be close in these games, and then literally from the first quarter on, it was just an onslaught. It became one of those like Indiana was stuck on 29 points in the second quarter for like what felt like an eternity. They just kept, and they weren't turning the ball over like the first game. They just were missing everything because it was all contested perfectly. So Thunder finally put together, one of those games that we needed from them in the finals to kind of feel like, okay, yeah. And now after seeing that, I do feel like, you know, Indiana got that weird game one that's I think is going to seem like a really big outlier by the end of this series. I wouldn't be surprised if the Thunder put it away in five. The only thing that stops me from being fully confident in that is that the Thunder put up a couple weird road duds, like against Denver and against Minnesota. Even they lost by like 30 against Minnesota on the road, and that I think it was game three. So that's the only thing. But maybe since they got smacked in the mouth game one, they'll be ready to play in Indiana.
Yeah.
But couldn't be more confident in them.
I mean, it's almost like they meant to do this shit. Like they lost game one and they're like four in a row, man. Let's bring it back to Oklahoma and win one there.
Like you said, yeah, exactly. So it's not weird. Do you guys really want to win in Indianapolis? What are we gonna do there? Let's win in a real city like Oklahoma City.
Dude, that's what I'm gonna say. Like the after party at either place, I feel like it's gonna be a complete fucking just dud.
Dude, the Chili's is not equipped in Oklahoma City to handle this type of
Oh,
party. I
yeah.
don't think.
What is it? Is it the 5 for 5 or Chili's triple dipper, man?
Yeah, and there's
SGA's
gonna be a
gonna
lot
have
of
his
triple
lips all
dippers.
over the triple dipper, man.
Do you remember that video where I think it was Melo goes to OKC when Russ is there, and he's like, "What do you guys got that's open late?" And they're like, "We got a Chili's open till 11." So maybe
Hey,
the
man,
Chili's will stay open till 2.
that'd be all time move. It's like Applebee's too. Just hit the dollar marks all night.
I'm thinking. I think it was Devin Booker after the Suns made the finals was like, I'm thinking Hooters tonight with the fellas.
Yep,
So I
it's
think
huge.
that might be the move. It's just a place like that.
Might be
Um,
the move. Um, I don't have any more in the game. I don't know if you have any more in the game.
I've got just some NBA off-season stuff just before we hop off the NBA because um, I was listening to Bill Simmons' pod with Russillo Sunday night, and he made a pretty big headline when they were doing a segment that was like, "Would you be surprised if this happened or not?" kind of thing, like big off-season things. And Simmons said he has no inside info, but he wouldn't be surprised if the Kevin Durant to San Antonio trade is like already done, and they're just
Uh,
waiting to announce it for before the draft. And that made pretty big headlines. And then I kind of was thinking like he's usually wrong on Sun stuff. He's not very plugged in with them. But then uh, Gambo, who's like a local radio guy that's really plugged in with the Suns in Phoenix, basically retweeted it and was like, "You don't say," like basically saying like, "Yeah, it's already done." So
yeah,
I've been on the trade machine. This is wishful
as
thinking,
he
but
does.
I really, really, really hope that Sohan's in the deal because everybody keeps kind of saying it's going to be number 14 and Vassell and then like Harrison Barnes as like salary filler and then
Uh,
maybe one other pick or something or one other guy. That feels like not enough to me, but also I get it that Durant's like 37. I get it. Um, I want Sohan in the deal because
Give
I
this
love
man
Sohan.
Sohan. Give
I
this
want
man
Sohan in the
Sohan.
deal. I want to see what his different hairstyles would be. His weird he colors his
Yes.
hair different colors and does different designs. But also I just think Sohan and Ryan Dunn uh as like wing defenders would just be like preposterous. And
Yeah.
so I'm really no everybody keeps saying it's either Vassell or Sohan. I just hope it's both, even though I feel like that's being greedy for what people are saying. But
It's
how
still
do you feel
KD at the
about?
end of the day, man. It's still KD at the end of the day.
Yeah,
All I want to
obviously,
say too is
oh,
that
go ahead.
normal people golf, normal people like go to the gym and stuff. Normal people like play video games. Noah's just sitting on the trade machine all day, bro. It's like,
I
what can
use
I make happen?
as soon as I hear like if I'm listening to a pod at work or something, like as soon as I hear like a hypothetical trade thrown out, I write it down in a notebook so that after work I can get on the trade machine. This
Don't let that
notebook is
notebook get out. Don't let that notebook get
this
out.
notebook looks psychotic. It's basically Garland, Garland, Utah question mark.
God.
I'm like
And it's like the
trying to
most
figure out.
illegible writing ever.
Yeah,
Just Noah's
literally,
so
yeah.
strung out. That's hilarious.
If anybody saw this thing, they would think I was like plotting to kill Darius Garland or something because
Oh,
I'm like
fuck.
Garland, Utah. Ah, no, it doesn't work. And like a big X through it, and I'm like, they're like, is he gonna bring Darius Garland to Utah and try and
Just
get rid of him?
drop
What's
the
going on?
body.
Yeah, what is going on
Fuck.
with this guy? But okay, obviously, I know. I want to throw this back at you. I know how I would feel about the Suns package coming back. I'd be underwhelmed if Sohan was out of it. But what do you think about the Durant fit with San Antonio? Because I feel like people are just kind of being like, yeah, sure, throw him, that'll work. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I like that for them.
I don't know. What pick did they have? Because I know they got another lottery. It was like
They have
fifth.
2 and 14, so
Oh,
they're
no, they
probably
got
going to get
two. I
Dylan Harper.
forgot.
And apparently everybody thinks Harper's going to be awesome. But
I mean, they are still pretty young all around, right? And I mean,
yeah,
I don't know if Kevin Durant's going to be a real good mentor to anyone. I don't know if he's had the reputation of that, but
yeah, I guess that's where I get confused is like including this Suns team that I've watched, with
oh,
Durant on it.
I
Like
mean, yeah, I
every
wasn't
every team
super
he's been on has
familiar.
been sad.
Yeah, also I haven't been super familiar with the Spurs. I totally forgot what they did last season as far as
Fox.
getting De'Aaron Fox,
Yeah.
man, and Bismack Biyombo. Um,
Suns legend Bismack Biyombo.
he is a legend. But
Oh my
no, dude.
goodness.
No, I don't know how I feel about it too, because there it just depends what Wemby wants to do next year, and obviously I don't know what it's gonna look like with coming back from his injury, because I honestly
Yeah.
don't. Has anyone ever came back from that? Well, not like in the history, but has anyone in the league had that injury and like came back?
Well, Bosch, it kind of ended his career, but he was on the tail end. Like it
Yeah,
was late in his career, and I think he kind of was like, his like risk versus reward was basically, hey, am I really gonna like risk basically your life because it's blood clots? Like, am I gonna
yeah,
risk like my life to go play basketball? Like in, I've already made enough money and won rings. Wemby's a little different, and it seems like people seem pretty positive about it. I know Dame had the same thing and then came back in the playoffs, and then towards Achilles, which isn't linked at all, but I think it's just he's just an older player.
yeah.
Um, I just don't. I just feel like people are kind of like just skating by. They're just like, yeah, if Durant, it seems like San Antonio's the place, and everybody's just kind of like, yeah, cool, works. And I'm just like, does it really work? Because you're building around Wemby, who's a kid. He's 20, 21, 22. He
Mm-hmm.
obviously is not at his peak. Fox is a little older. He's on a different timeline, but he's not old. And then all the
CP3.
young guys, CP3. I think CP3 is as good as gone.
Yeah.
But uh, like if you keep Sohan or Vassell in the deal and you keep Keldon Johnson, they just are really. And then you have Dylan Harper. They're just kind of young. I just don't see why you would do that. I guess
I don't. I'm looking at their forwards, dude, and I like other than Shan,
my
but
guy Sohan.
he's obviously gone if
I would hope.
KD gets there. So I mean, Keldon Johnson,
And then like you have Castle because it's
yeah.
like they just it would definitely push them into like win now mode with Fox and Durant and Wemby. But I wonder if that's short term thinking when it comes to Wemby and
What a
like what he
scary
could
ass
be.
fucking team, though, dude. You
Yeah,
you're just like you're like playing against the Monstars, dude. KD and Wemby out there.
yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Um,
I don't know. I've seen a lot of well, a lot of stuff with like KD talking to the Raptors too.
Dude, the Raptors are like this team that everybody's like, watch out for the Raptors. They are in on everybody. Them and Utah. It's been
Yeah.
like that would, and I mean, I guess if you're the Raptors and you want to move off Scotty Barnes for like a Giannis type deal, okay. Durant would be a little easier. You could probably just do like RJ and like the quickly contract. Ugh. Which if you're the Suns, I don't know why you say yes to that
Yeah.
because ew. Um, I've been seeing that too, where it's like, oh, they're gonna make a big move this offseason. I don't see what the move is. They already made their move. I feel like with getting Ingram.
Yeah. I also saw, I forgot who it was. I'm looking at it back now, but on X today, it was, Nas Reed was pretty much like about to sign with the team. Oh, yeah, it's right here. But the Lakers.
Yeah, I've seen him linked to Lakers and Warriors,
That's crazy.
which
I
I
mean,
think I think he's an offer sheet guy. I'd have to look this up, but like he's a guy where if the Lakers offered him a contract, Minnesota could match it.
yeah.
Um,
So it's, I don't know who it's per, but Nas Reed, a 3-year, 120 million deal. That's what the Lakers are expected to offer him, which is fucking
yeah, seems
insane.
pretty seems pretty insane. I mean, we're a pro Nas Reed pod, but
Oh,
that's
yes.
that's big for Nas.
I mean,
You know,
hopefully, if they go to the playoffs again, whatever team he goes to, he doesn't have the same performance. But
yeah, yeah, he had a rough playoffs. I'm interested in what happens with Nas. And then I'm definitely interested in like looking at Utah and Toronto, more Utah than Toronto. I think Utah is like a team that could get kind of gamey. I think they're tired of they've basically like tanked the last 2-3 years and they haven't gotten anything for it. Like their pick has
yeah.
been terrible still.
Hmm.
I think they're at the point where they're ready to maybe move off some of these picks and like just be competitive, even if it maybe puts their future in jeopardy. Like I'm serious. I think if Garland like signed off and said, "Yeah, I'd be okay playing in Utah," they would give up a ton for him. Like
Yeah.
of like 3 firsts and like some players that can go help the Cavs maybe win now still and they can get off the Garland deal or just something like that because
Hmm.
they just seem like they're in this spot where they're like, dude, we tanked again and got the sixth or seventh pick I think they got, and what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Um, so I got my eye on them for sure because I just think they're going to be an interesting team to watch. And I like when Utah's good; they have good home court. I remember like fun playoff teams with them. So
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to that. But yeah, Durant to San Antonio, everybody seems to think is like a done deal. Which sayonara. Like
Yeah.
I love Durant as a basketball player. He's great, but man, he does something to bring the vibes down. Because as soon as he got to the team, vibes are bad. He did the same thing with the Nets. It ended in
Low-key,
the
the same
Warriors
thing with
with
the
bad,
Warriors. And
yeah, and it ended terrible in OKC. He just like something about him is there's like a negative energy about him.
yeah. I mean, probably just gets too high. No one fucks with him.
He
He's
doesn't fuck
like,
with anybody. He's just like, why are you guys
he's
talking
like,
to me?
yeah, he's like, chill. Let's just chill.
You guys are my teammates. Is that what you
Who
said?
who is he? Who is interviewing when he's like, yeah, I'm high right now. Is that
Shit.
fucking? It was
It was a big name.
a
Uh,
coach, uh, Bulls
no,
coach,
Billy
not Bulls
Donovan?
coach. No, Lakers.
Oh, Phil Jackson.
It was Phil Jackson. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah,
I'm high right
classic.
now.
And it was like, oh, okay, nice.
But I wanted to
Yeah,
ask
classic.
you. I wanted to ask you if you're done with trade, but
Yeah,
a lot of people have been talking about the face of the league, and they're saying like who's next up essentially. A lot of people are saying Anthony Edwards, but then there's also a debate with Shea. But my debate is, can you have a Canadian player as the face of the league?
yeah. This is one of those. This is like one of those big, um, like topics. I think like big picture topics where all the good players have been like from a different country coming in because I think they're getting developed better than like our AAU system in America
Uh,
where it's like let's get a bunch of third graders and they're the number one ranked third. like you see the craziest shit on YouTube where it's like this is the number one ranked fourth grade team and none of them can like even do it. Like it's like, dude, why are you at tournaments with these kids? So
Literally.
whereas like in Europe and in some of these other countries, they're like at what they should be doing at that age, like learning how to fucking play as a team and like make, fundamental the fundamental choice on the basketball court. So like guys like Luca come over, and if Luca was American, he'd be the face of the league. He plays for the Lakers. He's awesome. He's fun. He's kind of controversial, but he's not. Um, Wemby, French, never like going to be face of the league
Jokic.
probably, but Jokic, best player in the world, probably should be face of the league. He's not really interested in that. On
Yeah.
top of being from a different country, and then
Wemby.
Shea is going to be the biggest like maybe you can because Canada is just so similar to America. I know there's been like a divide lately, but I just think that they're like, we have the NHL where like, a big portion of the teams are in Canada and they all just kind of play against one another and nobody really cares. I think the reason that Shea won't be the face of the league isn't because he's Canadian. I think it'll be because he's so like stoic and gives very good like measured answers and you never really see him freak out on the court. There's times where I think he probably wanted to but just hasn't.
Yeah.
The reason that Ant has a better chance to be like the face of the league in terms of like marketability is the same reason that Ja had a chance to do that before he messed up off the court is they do things that are like aesthetically awesome on the court, like the dunks, the crazy moves of athleticism, and then they're fun off the court and they give like crazy answers to questions sometimes. I think sometimes Ja it feels a little forced, whereas Edwards it's like very authentic.
Hmm.
Um, so I think Ant is in like the driver's seat for it. If Shea starts to get like kind of after the championship, maybe is like a little bit more interesting, I guess, to like listen to and talk about things than he could be. Um, but I also think it could end up like a Spurs situation with Tim Duncan and those guys where, yeah, Tim Duncan was like the best player, one of the best players in the league and they were winning championships, but it was kind of the team and the coach and he didn't really care to be involved in that. He kind of reminds me of that, even though he's a guard. So I think Ant has a chance to grab it because I forget that he's not even in his prime yet. He's only 24, I think now he's
Which
going
is
to be
fucking
next year,
crazy. That's
which is
insane.
crazy. Like when he gets up, up to like 26, 27, and he has like all these things added to his game from what he's learned over the years of playing, he'll be well on his way to face of the league and it'll be crazy. What do you think? I mean, do you think he's in the driver's seat or do you think that there could be somebody like a Shea?
I think personally, I think that someone non-American should be in reality. I know the NBA doesn't want to do that, but especially if Shea wins a ring this year, he should be the one in the driver's seat. And like he even with the team he had this year, he couldn't really do anything, and he wasn't even like the leader of. Well, he was the leader like personally, but he wasn't the leader like on the stat sheet every night. Where you see Shea, like Shea's putting up minutes, he's putting up points, like his assist numbers are good. Like it's it's just hard to have that same kind of like I don't know, it's that same feeling that Shea does to the people. Like I know you look at Ant and you love his game, like he's fucking putting people on posters every night and throwing up like 15 threes a game. Uh, and I know Shea's game doesn't look like as pretty as Anthony Edwards, but like he's doing his thing, and he's in all reality he's gonna win a ship, and he's probably gonna win like two to three
Multiple.
more. Yeah. So
If they stay healthy, multiple.
yeah, it'd be different if like the Timberwolves made a run this year and didn't look
Yeah.
like shit in the playoffs, other than against the Lakers, and yeah, but
Warriors
I don't
without
know.
Steph
Yeah, where's
coming off
that?
that Rocket series.
I don't even count that
That was
shit.
a weird series.
Yeah, I don't even count that shit. But
Really weird series.
no, we'll see. I just think it's an interesting debate, especially with all of like the great foreign players we have. Like we said,
Yeah.
Wemby, Joker, um, who else? Fucking Shea, and then Luca too. It's like you could pick any one of those players over and
Yeah.
Like,
Even like there's guys you don't even think of, like Jamal Murray is from Canada. Like I think Lou Dort is Canadian too. Like,
there's four
um,
players in the finals right now.
yeah,
Like, there's Benny, Naismith,
Benny, yeah,
SGA, and then who's the last one?
Dort.
Dort, yeah. So,
They're all Canadian, and I mean, yeah. So and then Luca, like you already said, I seriously truly believe that Luca would be the face of the league if he entered the league right now, like when
yeah.
where America's a little bit more ready for like the foreign players and how good they are. I think there was some resistance to that. Like
Hmm.
if he entered the league right now and did what he was doing already, he'd be face immediately with the Lakers. But I think people are a little resistant to that. And they like to make fun of him. He's the player that I like selfishly, other than like Devin Booker and the Suns. He's the player I look forward to watching the most. Like he's the face of the league to me. I know he
Oh,
hasn't
yeah.
won a ring. I just like watching him the most. I know some people don't like his game as much, but I feel the same way about Shea, where it's like, dude, why? How do you not like Shea? He's awesome on the court. He's super efficient. He gets everybody involved. He's a really good teammate. Obviously, everybody really likes him. He's the leader of that team, and they take after him in a way where everybody's very selfless.
Yeah.
Um, he's basically everything that everybody claims they want in like their team's best player.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think he has a chance to. He just it's not his fault that in the interviews I think that is him. It seems very authentic that he's just kind of very even keel, very stoic, and just gives his answers and that's it. But
Yeah.
we will see.
We will see. I'm excited to see it. I mean, I just thought that was a crazy debate.
Yeah, most definitely.
Crazy debate.
You know what else is crazy is that your Pirates
Our
are on like a
fucking
little win streak.
Yeah, the Keystone Series is ours, man. If you would have told me in 2025 that we would sweep the Phillies, I would have assumed you're on some 2C. But um,
Shout out Diggs.
shout out Davis, dog. But no, the Pirates are doing fucking good. We're still not hitting, but the pitching staff is insane. Um, Paul Skeens threw another fucking gem. I think his ERM, I think a 1.9 something. So like
Yeah.
he'll probably win the Cy Young if he keeps it up and if he doesn't get hurt. Um, you heard it here first. But yeah, I think in
Yeah.
his last 8, he's like 2-6, which is the worst stat I've ever heard in my life.
With that ERA.
And everyone that says, yeah, and everyone that
Yeah.
says that he's being traded, um, you're fucking stupid. But whatever. I just go back and think like, not to put it on football, but did the Steelers trade Big Ben? No, it's because he was a dog. So if the
Yeah.
city of Pittsburgh's gonna have a face, it's gonna be fucking Paul Skeens. Um,
Yep.
but
And
yeah,
the ERA is 1.88.
which
So
is
he's on
crazy,
one right now.
which is fucking
Yeah.
stupid, dude.
And as we're recording right now, it's about 6 o'clock on Monday the 9th. You guys are winning against the Marlins 4-2. So
Yes.
this could be a big streak. Road to 30 is getting a little kickstart.
Yeah, Road to 30 is going crazy, and I think the start of I don't even remember. I think our last pod we were like what 16 games back, and now we're only 12 games back. So
Don't sleep.
don't sleep on the Pirates, man.
Do
Don't
not
sleep.
sleep on the Pirates. And they're going to get a bump from us when we see them in person July 5th. So
Oof.
it's going to be, the two guys one take bump.
Yeah,
Um,
I want to. Yeah, you can do your thing on the Yankees, man. I don't want to hurt you too much.
oof. Yeah. So, there was a big series this weekend. Yankees Red Sox. Might have got a little ahead of myself when we beat the shit out of them in game one, and I tweeted a lot of laughing emojis at the Red Sox because they were on a losing streak and we kicked their face in. And Devin had a 14 pitch, like easy save, and I was like, dude, if you're letting Devin do that to you, you're
So
cooked.
bad. So bad.
Game two, I wasn't as pissed because we sat Jazz. We started Pablo Reyes, dude. Like I was like, okay, and it was Ryan Yarbrough versus Garrett Crochet, and I mean we got to Crochet 5 runs, which is a lot for him to give up. I almost tweeted, at the Red Sox, isn't this guy supposed to be good? Thank God I didn't, because then we gave up a million runs and we lost. So Yarbrough came back to earth a little bit. Wasn't our best showing. And then game three, I see a preposterous quote from the rookie pitcher for the Red Sox coming into the
Yep.
game where he steals. I think Ken Griffey said that. Ken Griffey Jr. said that back in the day and said, if the Yankees were the last team left to give me a contract, I'd retire. This guy said it as if it was his own quote. And then Judge immediately hits a first pitch fastball bomb off him. And I'm like, yep, this series is ours. We took it. And then Rodon, the wheels fell off. Wheels fell off Rodon. I didn't appreciate, by the way, Assault. I didn't appreciate ESPN continuing to show Rodon without a beard in 2022 when he wasn't, or 2023 when he wasn't very good with that stupid mustache, arguing with Matt Blake, our pitching coach. They kept saying, look, he was doing bad and now he's doing good. Shut up, ESPN. I don't need to see that 30 times on a loop. But anyway, yeah, pretty frustrating. I basically switched to the finals once it was 7-3 in that, or 7-5, and DJ came up with the bases loaded and grounded into a double play. Oh my god. And so, which was classic. So I switched to the finals after that, kept tabs on it, had it on my phone, but rough series. I'm not worried though, because we could panic and say, you lose 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox, lose 2 out of 3 to the Dodgers, what's going on with this team. We took 2 out of 3 from the Mets, who are a good team. I've always said that. Never said a bad word about the Mets or their best player. So I've always said they're a good team. And we took 2 out of 3 from them in the Subway Series. And on to the next series. We got the Royals next.
On to the next.
Now, if we
right
lose 2 out of 3, if we don't play today, but if we lose 2 out of 3 to the Royals in this next series, you will hear me panic. I will panic. So, because I don't think the Royals are very good. Outside of Bobby Witt.
Bobby Hoot.
Yeah, who's a stud. Yeah. But yeah, that's Yankees talk. I mean, Judge, awesome series again, classic. Sometimes I forget just how injured we are, and we've just kind of been still making it work. Like when they started game 2, and they were like, "Yeah, Jazz is getting the day off, so Pablo Reyes is playing third base," and I was like, "Who?"
Oh, Pablo Reyes.
But had to figure that out.
Yeah. Were you watching when the announcers were interviewing him?
Yeah.
And then he made an error, but they called it a hit. I'm like, what?
Yeah, which
that was the most blatant throwing error ever.
Yeah, that was clearly an error.
Yeah, but they were asking him about that pitcher too, Dobbins.
Yep.
About his quote. He was like, "Yeah, that's crazy that a rookie said that."
I think it is crazy. I think it's crazy that he tried to say it as if it was his own quote. I don't know if he got misquoted, so I didn't hear him say it. I didn't hear if he said "Hey, Ken Griffey said this." I think it was him that said this. He basically was like, "I always say," and I was like, "You always say? That's not your quote, dude. Come on, man." I thought that was crazy. And then for Judge to take him deep, first pitch he sees was beautiful to me. But
it was that series was kind of overshadowed by is it Roman Anthony being called up?
Well, they were begging for him to get called up for that series, and then today he finally got called up after the series.
Yeah. I didn't see a whole lot on the series. I saw a whole lot on that, so kind of saving grace there.
I think they were trying to protect Anthony from his first series being Red Sox Yankees, and he's the number 1 prospect. I think that's cool if he comes up and hits a home run, right? But what if he comes up and goes 0 for 12?
Yeah.
In Yankee Stadium, and he's playing right field and they're yelling shit at him. I think even for the number 1 prospect. Yeah, exactly, the weird guy. Even if you're the number 1 prospect and you're the man, I think that could do a lot for your confidence in a bad way, where you come up and you're like, Jesus, I just went 0 for 12 and they're throwing things at me.
His career's over.
And now it's over. Yeah. I mean, so I think that was smart by the Red Sox, especially coming off 2 wins. Cool, let's try and make a run. Let's bring up our best guy and go for it. Shout out to the Red Sox, man. I give respect. They played really well. Their offense got out of the mud. Devers makes funny faces. I haven't watched a lot of Red Sox games, but he makes really funny faces. He always looks very inquisitive. Stinky.
Dude, his mouth has to be just like so fucking like raw from all the chew and shit.
Torn
Like
up.
a part of me wishes that like he doesn't even chew and just like that's what his face looks like. That'd be so funny.
He
Like you
just was
see him
always
take
doing
it
this.
out. Yeah, you see him take it out and it's just like the exact same. I would love that shit.
They showed on Saturday on Fox, or no, on Sunday after Crochet started on ESPN. They showed Crochet in the dugout, and they were like, "Yep, there's Garrett Crochet. He pitched the day before, and then right as they put the camera on him, he just
Fire.
directly in the mouth, and they cut the camera away like immediately."
Yeah,
I'm
MLB's
like,
trying to
dude,
get away from that shit a lot.
yeah. I'm like,
They
dude,
always catch
it's his off
they
day
always catch like a manager throwing in a zin too, and it's fucking hilarious.
every time. Oh, Booney was on getting tossed watch on Saturday.
He was.
He was
Didn't your
he
pitching
was
coach get tossed?
one of our hitting coaches got tossed.
Yeah.
But Booney was getting hot, and the Blue had enough. He was a classic older, mustache umpire, and he immediately walked over, and I'm sure gave Booney a nice little slap on the wrist.
They didn't even show it on TV. They just showed a replay of the guy getting tossed. He just like, I hate
Yeah,
when they
I
do
mean,
that. Like, if you're gonna get tossed, man, you gotta make the most out of it.
he was letting him have it for sure.
Yeah.
But I always need a good Booney tossing, especially in a Red Sox series. It's classic.
God, I've been seeing all the tweets. They're like, it's like Booney if he didn't hit that one home run. It's like him in an in and out fucking. God, that shit's funny.
Yeah, I was really hard on Booney the year that Judge got hurt and we missed the playoffs, and then even last year up until we made the World Series. But honestly, at this point, like the way that this team they're all injured and we're still in first place in the East and still playing well. He has to have something to do with that at least. So
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
give him
man,
credit.
I don't know if you want to go to puck. I don't know if you see the scores right now or if you're watching the game.
I see Florida's up 2-0 as we're recording this. Like we said, it's Monday the 9th, and it's about 6 o'clock. So Florida's up 2-0 as we head into the first intermission. First game at home. I kind of said I bet on Florida coming into this game. I kind of said I think Florida's going to take this game, and then I think Edmonton's going to take game 4. I think Florida. Well, I said coming into game 2 that I thought Edmonton was going to win, and then game 2 was awesome, and they
Game
lost.
2 was sick. Game 2 was so
now-
fucking dope.
So now I'm a little nervous, but I think maybe they both split now.
Yeah.
If I could go back in time, and I think they both split. But game 2 was like an all-time game. Game 1 was awesome, but game 2 was like an all-time hockey game. That McDavid assist
Yeah.
on to Draisaitl in period 1. Oh my god, that was against 2 of the better defenders on Florida too. Like not against a couple of schmucks, and he just made them look like idiots. Like there's no other way to say it.
Dude, even before the game, when they had that random guy in the crowd sing the national anthem, and then they did like Canada, that shit gave me crazy goosebumps.
Dude, when they sing "Oh Canada," I get kind of fired up. I'm not even Canadian, but I'm just like, damn, they love it.
No,
They're
they
singing
do.
it from sea to yeah, they just go crazy. But the Ryan Whitney like staring at the camera in the Oilers hat like this. That's my favorite thing to see now. Whenever the Oilers are playing, where they're like overtime, job's not finished.
Dude,
Just
that pod too,
Whit
wasn't
standing
he? Wasn't Dave Portnoy just fucking roasting him or something? And
No,
he's
he
just
was
like,
roasting. Not it was an argument between Kirk and Dave, and then Whitney was on the pod, and he just sat there like that the whole time.
I fucking love it, dude.
But yeah, game 2 was awesome. Ended obviously with Florida winning. Florida's up right now. Brad Marchand has just been like a man possessed. I know he's like an older player and whatever, but Jesus Christ, he just like can't be stopped for Florida right now. And
Yeah.
maybe we didn't put it together when it happened, like the trade happening. I think for me at the deadline when he got traded, I kind of was like, okay, cool. Like Marchand, be awesome third liner. He's just like made that third line like another first line. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
And
I still feel confident in the Oilers.
yeah, I just took the Oilers plus 2.5 right now, so
Keep it within 2, boys.
keep it within 2
Keep it
boys. I
within
think
2.
they'll do it, especially with the
Yeah.
last game.
I wanted to shout out back to baseball real quick. I wanted to shout out Clayton Kershaw for calling out the Cardinals. I thought this whole situation was weird. So Dodgers playing the Cardinals, and Kershaw starting. I guess the Cardinals before the game played on a loop the Matt Adams 2014 NLDS home run against Kershaw, like
What?
where basically it eliminated the Dodgers, and that was one of Kershaw's better years. They were playing it on a loop on the jumbotron before the game, I guess. And Kershaw, after the game, after he pitched a good game for the first time all year, was basically like, "Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less from this organization. It's Bush League, but that's the Cardinals basically." And I was like,
That's
"Damn, I
fucking
didn't
awesome.
like I knew that Cardinals and Dodgers they met a lot in the playoffs. So like some of those older players that are still in the team, it's definitely a rivalry. But I didn't realize it was like that. So I was hyped to see that. I like shit talk in sports. I need it to come back. I feel like it in the age of social media, people are afraid to shit talk too much. I thought that was awesome.
Dude, being a coach too, and just like seeing that shit on the scoreboard, and you're like, who the fuck is in control of the media right now, dude?
Yeah.
I'd be like, take that shit off right now.
Play it once maybe before the game, like, oh haha, remember this? But like to play it on a loop
That's crazy.
is kind of crazy.
I mean, if I would have saw that, I immediately would have took Dodgers money line, even though it was favorite. But you
Yeah,
can't do
no, I
that shit,
mean,
man. Especially in baseball, dude. Baseball gods come back to kill you.
especially a guy like Kershaw. I know he struggled this year coming back from injury, but it's like, dude, you don't think he can put together 6 strong innings? Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
dude, it's like beating a dead horse. Man's on his way out already. It's
Yeah,
not
just
like,
dude, that was 11 years ago. Why don't we just
that's
like
crazy. That's
leave him
crazy.
alone at this point? And by the way, where the fuck is Matt Adams now? He's not playing.
Exactly.
So well, like I don't know. And then I also wanted to shout out. You're gonna be surprised by this one. You ready for this shout out?
Mm-hmm.
Women's College World Series. I want to
Huge.
shout out Mia Scott.
Third baseman
She
for Texas.
played on a torn ACL.
Yeah. Crazy.
That is fucking nails.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then she tweeted, "I only needed one." That's crazy.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that when I saw it. Like I was watching, just kind of like in and out watching, like I'm like making food and doing whatever. And then they like kind of casually like brought that up. And I was like, what? And I had to like rewind and be like, no, that is what they said. That's fucking nuts. Like what? So shout out to Mia Scott.
That's
Um,
sick. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen too.
and shout out to Women's College World Series and college baseball. It's been a lot of fun. I've
Yeah.
been kind of locked in on both.
The Beavs punched a ticket, man.
They did, dude. I got a little nervous in the ninth inning when like the first two runners got on for Florida State, or first two batters got on for Florida State, and you're kind of like, this is still college. Like they could definitely come back,
Oh yeah.
but uh, but Beavs pulled it out. I jump into college baseball late, obviously, and just watch like the regionals and stuff, and then I watch the World Series. I kind of think UCLA looks fucking good. I know they're 15th in the country, but like they seem like super hot coming into it.
It's so tough to watch like college baseball early because you have to be like in tune with like their local broadcast and everything like that. So it's just tough in that aspect.
Yeah,
But I'm always hyped for
yeah,
the
exactly.
World Series because World Series is fun. It's fun baseball to watch. Random that it's in Omaha.
Yeah,
I always thought that.
honestly, good for Omaha, dude. They need something.
But
I'd like
you do
Omaha to
need
have
something.
something.
It's always the fucking
But
shittiest weather though.
I
But
know,
who cares?
I know. But
Who cares? Who cares?
the last time that the Beavs won, it was against Arkansas, and Arkansas is in the tournament again this year in the World Series. So maybe history repeats itself, and the Beavs can pull it off. That's what I'm gonna be rooting for. Shout out to my sister; she's an Oregon State Beaver, so
Say
go
AWL too.
Beavs. AWL and an Oregon State Beaver. So shout out to my sister.
Well,
But yeah,
I
those are
I
my
want
shout
to
outs.
shout out the new soccer team I'm playing on next session. We're sponsored by a dispensary,
Let's go.
Aura Grown. So shout out Taylor for inviting the boy on the team.
Let's go, dude.
She also is
Let's go.
gonna listen to the pod too. So
Hell yeah. Let's go, Taylor. Shout out. You give us a sponsorship. We'll give you an ad read.
Yeah.
like you never heard
Oregon.
before. Um, it'll be fantastic.
You're not even based in Oregon. Just shout out Oregon. Shout out
I mean,
Oregon.
hey, dude, there's like all these podcasters that are based in California that do like ad reads for like DraftKings, and I'm like, you can't do that there, but
Yeah. You
they
can't
do
do
the
that though.
reads. Um,
Stick to prize picks, man.
yeah, stay surprised. Don't you want to pick six guys to maybe score more than 30 points and have more than five rebounds? Come on, dude. You could triple your money. Um,
What did they say? Up to 1,000
you can win
times?
up to 1,000 times your money if 12 things happen.
God
um,
damn.
yeah, and people just jump on it. Shout out to Drewski for those ads.
Yeah. Huge.
Well,
White
shout out to your
face.
soccer team, dude. Are you like a vibes? Are you like a vibes guy, or do you typically score? And I caught you on a bad night when I asked you how it went.
Um, when we were playing in B League, I would score like once or twice a game. A League, I'm like once every other game, but big effort guy.
That's
Big
what
talk,
okay, yeah, I could see
big,
that.
big talk shit to people guy, talk shit to the refs,
Getting
just
their head a little bit.
just the bruiser out there. Everyone
You do
else
like to
is,
get in people's head.
everyone's too scared to talk. I'm like, man, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do?
The listeners don't
I
know this about Turner, but Turner is like addicted to getting in people's heads. So in
shout out Devin.
competition,
Shout out
shout out
Devin.
to Tevin, which that's
That's
just
just
a
in real life.
competition in and of itself.
Yeah,
Um,
the
that's
boy.
awesome.
Yeah,
Damn, I wish I could do that in my marathons. Just like run
talk
by guys
shit.
and just be like this
Pussy.
fucking loser. Maybe
Slow
try
ass.
speeding up. You ever think about that?
Yeah, fucking
Um,
bitch ass.
you can't do that because then later when I'm running out of steam, they pass me.
Like, ooh,
It's just, jeez. Ugh. But, yeah, see
you
you,
suck
buddy.
down an
Yeah, I can't
electrolyte
have that.
packet. Try to get back.
Just have some of my goos. Let me
Yep.
get a goo.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. That's all I got, honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
This is like kind of a weird time. I think we're getting close to doing some like NFL look aheads in July. That's like my favorite time to start talking football. So
Yeah, it'll be fun.
waiting on the finals.
It's gonna start heating up here. Because then we'll just have college baseball and then that's about it. Then we got
MLB.
MLB.
Um,
Gonna
and
turn
then
into
yeah,
an MLB pod.
yeah, MLB pod for a little bit and talking mini camp videos. I can't wait for some Rogers mini camp videos starting tomorrow.
Rocky. Just wait. We're going to the fucking
I'm ready.
Super Bowl. Wait till we get Scary
Soupy.
Terry. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh my God, Scary Terry and Bobby Trees on the same team. Is that even allowed?
Dude, you gotta
No.
quit hitting me with the fucking jump scare of Bobby Trees, man.
That's my guy.
That's my
And
guy.
on that note, I think we're good. Peace. Thanks for listening. Subscribe.
Like, comment, do it all.
Mean stuff.
Yes, only mean things. Later.